Another very important part of this is the hiring process, right? Because how do you even build some recruitment process around aiming at these people? Like, should you focus on a single person who is able to deliver what you are looking for, thinking that they will deliver this amount, like from a single person, and then you have to find this kind of person, you have to pay this amount of salary to them, like, and or maybe you should focus on creating a team of people who can work as a team and create the same impact for your
Mhm.
business.
And in my mind, looking for one developer that's very good, that's more, it's old fashioned in a way. It's something we used to do before. We had these crazy people sitting alone somewhere just producing stuff, but now we're expected to work together. And I think the whole IT industry as a whole has woken up to the fact that we need to have functioning teams. We need to work on, on just doing everything right around the people. And yeah, so I think you're right there. I think it's more a matter of looking at team composition. And
Mhm.
also, when you say to be able to recruit these people, I think it could be very dangerous to recruit these people as well for other reasons. And one is that they might not be happy about it. I've been
Mhm.
trying to recruit a couple of times for new new groups, new teams, and then you have this idea maybe that you want somebody who can be a team lead, who can be a tech lead, who can deliver and can do everything, so that the he will be like a one man team or a one woman team, so to speak of. But
Mhm.
if you manage to find this person, they will not stay because they don't want to be alone in a team. They want to be surrounded by brilliant people like themselves, and learn from them and grow from them. And I mean, the curiosity, the know-how, and the social skills that we are looking for needs people in their own level. So that's another thing you have to think about. You can't, maybe you should start with somebody who's really bad in a way, just to get it going. You can't start with the top people because the top people might not want to be there.
Something important too is when you make an interview, because this happened many times. You met a person. You can make a second interview and a third interview and a fourth. And you're meeting a person. But this character could be that it's not the same when he's in the office. It's not simple to discover all the vertices of the personality of every person, because could be a 10x
Mm.
developer, could be a fantastic person working, but could be an horrible person later on working in a
Mm.
team. Or a person who, because you cannot make all this kind of question, who doesn't like people from another countries, imagine, to give a stupid example, and then you are in a multicultural environment, and then
Mhm.
he is not okay there, and then you generate something like a chemical compound that explodes. There are so many
Yeah.
things together that you don't know, that when you make an interview,
Mm.
really is when I interview people is I think in 2,000 questions to do, but at the end you
Mm.
cannot make all these kind of questions because even many of those are personal questions
Mm.
that you even are not allowed to do this question. That is, it's something that is a common, but I know this is the key.
Mm.
But you cannot ask this question because I don't want to have a problematic person, but at
Mm.
the same time I want to have the 10x as you says. But I want this
I mean,
person to be part of the team and many things.
this is a profession. This is something that we could talk about probably for years, but I do have some things that I like to do. And one thing that I like to do is to only have open questions. I don't want to give them the possibility to have a rehearsed, polished answer. I always give them open questions like, what do you enjoy about this? What does this mean for you? Or whatever, just to make them talk as much as possible. Because when you talk, sooner or later, if you're lucky, that mask that you're talking about, that's going to fall and you're going to see the right person. That's something I try to do. I,
So
I
you're
don't
waiting for the
always succeed.
mistake.
Yeah, they slip up
Very good point.
at one point, hopefully. And another thing that I like to do is to at least give them the possibility to make a good decision. So I try to tell them as clearly, and I don't know, I try to tell them everything about us, and especially the bad points. Because then if they don't like foreigners, then I make a point maybe of telling them that we do have foreigners and you're going to be working with them. So giving people information can also be a way of them themselves deciding not to come. So you can put that responsibility on them in a way, I think.
Cool. So
Fair.
I like this point with the salary, because it's going to put the responsibility of the salary on the people. It's like what's happening in USA, because now these days in USA, many companies, they don't have a limit with the vacations. So then you can take one day, 20 or 200 days of vacations. So it's something like a free choice. But then you as a worker, you have the responsibility to take the amount of vacation days that you want to have. So
I
then,
don't I think you misunderstood me now, because now I don't understand what you're talking about. What did you think I said now?
no. What I mean is that you are giving the responsibility to the people. So they have the responsibility. And what I mean is that I was explaining that there are
This
very good
translates
cases.
to in other areas as well.
Oh
This.
yeah,
Exactly.
I understand. Yeah.
There is another
Yeah.
cases when the companies give the responsibility to the workers. And the good thing is that the workers, they don't take more vacation. For example, in USA, you are allowed to take whatever amount of vacation that you want to have now in these days in the companies, but it's working differently. So what you can imagine that the people is going to take 3 months of vacations. They don't do that. They take
Mhm.
even less days than before.
Yeah, and this is like a nice point because when you give people more freedom, and this is something that I wanted to discuss as well, like when you create them the environment where they can work better. I don't know how to put that. I remember there was like this study, especially like the most famous one probably is Google's Aristotle project, research of psychological safety, something like that, showing that factors like removing workplace barriers. You mentioned about this vacation time, or promoting learning, or ensuring job satisfaction lead to more engaging and productive teams. And that's probably because when people know that they do not have to worry about certain things, they work better. And this is like, let's you let the developer and the engineer to take risks, and maybe even if they know that if they will take this risk, that I have this environment that will not punish them for the failure, and they will be able to propose solution and admit these failures without fear. And this fosters creativity and probably problem solving environment. And without this, the productivity drops as people are making mistakes, and they just do them more because they fear of making mistakes, or they're not entirely sure that their management will back them up and they will not support on things like that. And this is more about like building a team culture. And I wanted to ask you, Ellen, like, how do you, as the head of development, you dealing with team composition? Do you take responsibilities of human relationship department on yourself, creating the team, thinking what is missing, who I need to add, where they perform better, things like that, like any kind of measurements, or like do I create this puzzle where they fit, where they do not mix and match them?
Well, one thing that I try to do is to, I don't know, just to make sure that they have lots of different people. And I think that obviously is key, diversity. It's not just the different genders and the different age groups,
Mhm.
but maybe the different upbringings, or there's diversity can be a lot of things. But I think it's about just making sure that you have lots of people with lots of different opinions and lots of different viewpoints, and also make sure that you empower them and that you give them the courage to speak their minds, obviously. And because there's no point having somebody with a different opinion from you if they're not allowed to voice it. that
Mhm.
that doesn't make any sense. So yeah, I don't really think that it has to be a lot more complicated than that in a way, because everybody can contribute in ways that you wouldn't really anticipate. I think it's very hard, as you said before, Pablo, knowing what people are going to be actually like when they show up. It is very hard. So you're just going to have to make sure that they at least are nice people, friendly people, helpful people, and people that other people wouldn't mind being around. They can be a little bit weird, they can be a little bit grumpy, that's fine. As long as they're, generally nice people who care about others, then I think it's going to be fine. I think it's going to be, whatever you throw at them, it's going to be fine.